Shane van Gisbergen didn't just win in Mexico City, he made a statement, a loud, clear, impossible-to-ignore statement that echoed across the NASCAR world. "I'm here, and I'm not just visiting." This wasn't just a good drive, it wasn't even a great win, it was domination. Surgical, relentless, historic. A 16.567-second margin of victory in an era where NASCAR races are designed to be close, designed to be competitive, designed to have drama. There was no drama at the finish line in Mexico City, because by the time Van Gisbergen crossed it, everyone else was just racing for second. In the next-gen era, with its parity-focused design, spec parts, and tightly packed fields, it's rare to see someone break away. NASCAR wants its races close. It wants that last lap moment, that side-by-side finish. But Shane van Gisbergen ignored that script. He wrote his own, and it didn't include anyone else. But to understand how incredible this drive was, you have to look at the full picture. The context, the car, the pressure, and the person behind the wheel. Mexico City was new ground for the Cup Series, a road course with no history in the next-gen platform, no prior setups, no simulations that could mimic the track's quirks. For most teams, that meant unpredictability, unknowns, guesswork. For Shane van Gisbergen, that meant opportunity. SVG, as fans now know him, didn't grow up turning left on ovals. He came up racing V8 supercars in Australia and New Zealand, where street circuits and road courses dominate the calendar. He spent years mastering high-speed braking zones, technical corners, and weather-shifting strategy. His background didn't just give him an edge, it gave him a different language of racing. But raw talent alone doesn't guarantee success in NASCAR. The cars are different, the setups are different, the culture is different. And SVG had already gotten a taste of that. Last year, he shocked the world by winning the Chicago Street Race in his Cup Series debut. It was unprecedented. A rookie, in his first start, beating the best of the best. But while that win put him on the map, it also raised a question. Was it a one-off? A perfect storm of rain, chaos, and SVG's street racing brilliance? That's why Mexico City mattered. This wasn't a fluke. This was controlled, clean, and dominant, from pole to podium. From the first lap, SVG looked like he was driving a different car. But he wasn't. He was just using it differently. He built the lead methodically, not with reckless speed, but with precision. Lap after lap in the low 134 range, barely any fall-off. His team monitored tire wear and brake temperatures. All normal. He wasn't pushing the car beyond its limits. He was simply operating at a level few others could match. To understand the scale of his performance, consider this. In the next-gen era, even the fastest cars gain maybe half a second per lap over their rivals. SVG was consistently faster than that. He was building time every lap, even while conserving tires and brakes. But it wasn't a perfect drive from start to finish, and that's what makes it even more impressive. Early in the race, car number 54 looked like the one to beat. It had pace. SVG tucked in behind and tried to match the rhythm, but it came at a cost. His brake temperatures spiked. Too much heat. Too much stress. He had a choice. Stay aggressive and risk burning up the car, or back off and rethink. He chose restraint. That's the hallmark of experience, knowing when to attack and when to wait. And SVG, despite being new to NASCAR, has that built into his DNA. He watched, he learned, he waited, and when the moment came, he took it, cleanly, efficiently, permanently. From that point forward, the race was his. Then came the restart. Always a wild card moment in any NASCAR race. Cold tires, cold brakes, everyone bunched up. Even the smallest hesitation can lead to chaos. And SVG had never restarted from the lead on an American-style road course before. But he executed it like a veteran. He anticipated the grip, managed the throttle, got the jump, and was gone. Behind him, the field fought over scraps. SVG simply drove away. Again. It's important to understand just how different the next-gen car is from what SVG is used to. In V8 supercars, drivers often use the clutch in braking zones to help control weight transfer and balance the car. That doesn't work here. The NASCAR platform doesn't allow for the same techniques. He had to unlearn everything, and fast. In fact, he said it bluntly, "I threw everything I learned last year in the bin." The car doesn't react the way he expects. The feedback is different. The limits are less predictable. But rather than fight the car or force his habits to work, he adapted. He started over, rebuilt his instincts, and now it's paying off. But this wasn't just SVG's victory. It was a team effort, and that team has been grinding all season. Earlier in the year, they were nowhere near the front. At one point, their average running position was 85th. That's backmarker territory. But crew chief Steven Durant, spotter Josh Williams, and team owner Justin Marks refused to settle. They worked, they studied, they improved. Justin Marks made a bold call to build a program around SVG. And this race in Mexico City, this was the payoff. Not just a win, a turning point. SVG's adaptation hasn't just been physical or technical, it's been mental. The culture in NASCAR is different. The strategy, the tracks, even the way drivers talk about performance. SVG didn't try to bulldoze his way in with overconfidence. He came in with humility, curiosity, and a willingness to learn. That mindset showed again in Mexico City, when on top of everything else, SVG was sick. He missed pre-race ceremonies, wasn't in the garage. Fans were wondering where he was. Turns out, he was in the bathroom, sick, vomiting, dehydrated. He joked afterward that he was hugging the big white telephone, a lighthearted way of saying he was throwing up his breakfast. He wasn't 100%, not even close. But when the green flag dropped, the adrenaline took over, the medicine kicked in, the rhythm returned, and SVG went to work. By the time he crossed the finish line, the illness was forgotten, the margin was undeniable, and the celebration was pure SVG. A massive, smoky burnout scored a perfect 10 on the Prime Burnout board, and just for good measure, he booted a rugby ball into the stands like a true Kiwi. The crowd erupted, and so did the conversation. SVG didn't just win, he didn't just dominate, he electrified. Now everything changes. This win locks him into the playoffs. It resets the season for his team. It silences any remaining doubters. And it proves that SVG isn't just a road course ringer. He's learning fast on ovals. The team is getting stronger. The momentum is real. So how does a driver win by over 16 seconds in an era built for parity? He adapts, he listens, he manages his equipment, he stays calm under pressure, he leans on his team, and when the moment comes, he attacks, cleanly and completely. Shane van Gisbergen didn't just win a race, he raised the ceiling of what's possible with a next-gen car on a road course. He showed what happens when elite talent meets the right moment. And if this is what he can do now, just imagine where he'll be a few months from now. If you think this was the most dominant NASCAR road course performance of the modern era, or maybe ever, drop your thoughts in the comments. What did you notice? What impressed you most? And while you're here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. More race breakdowns, more deep dive stories, and more moments like this are on the way. Because if there's one thing this race proved, it's that Shane van Gisbergen isn't just visiting NASCAR, he's about to change it.